Good Saturday morning, my friends. It is about 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm doing a video in the kitchen because it looks like I'm not going to have a lot of time considering my little office because my cat has decided that he wants to sit there. Now, I'm very optically positive that this cat is a male, but he sure has a lot of characteristics of females. He seems to eat a lot. It was just a stray that showed up. He seems to eat a lot, wants to, looks around the house, and of course, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's male. It looked like he was a male. But anyway, so let's get off that. And I want to tell you guys, this video may go like a half an hour. So I want you to know that when I start. So then that way, you can either just, fuck it and go away, or go ahead and watch it all, and we'll see where it goes. Now, I want to tell you guys right here and now that I got a lot of issues to talk about and a lot of things that are coming to mind right now, and so I wanted to go ahead and put them out here on a video for you. And I know that I don't get a hell of a lot of views. I don't get a hell of a lot of comments, but then again, that keeps me under the wire. Now, half of the stuff I talk about is stuff that I do know. Now, one of the things that I want to go into is groups. Again, I've told you guys that I am a moderator of a group. 98% of the time, if a person that runs that group or has something to do with it tells me to do something, I will do it. This time, however, and if I have any people who follow me from here, I decided that that comment was worth leaving because I wanted to see the person who ran the group and the other moderators who've been there forever to say, see, look, this guy isn't being disrespectful. He's just trying to tell you what he thinks is fair. Now, I happen to agree with this person. Now, if somebody else posts something like that again and they ask me to remove it, I'll probably remove it. But this is, I did this on purpose because I wanted people to see this, to realize that, you know what? I can't feed you 1,000 times. This is it. You seem like you could just eat. And I don't know why I'm talking to the cat. So one more time, this cat eats a lot. Now, he does have some food down there, so maybe he just thinks it's an attention giver. But anyway, I'm going to feed him. Here's his cat food. Okay, we're going back into this video. So what we're going to do is this. I got a lot of things to talk about. I got things to talk about like the election. My hair's a little goofed up because I just got out of the shower. But anyway, the election. We're going to talk about space. We're going to talk about all kinds of different things. And I always like to go back into when I do my videos in the beginning, I always like to talk a little bit about, again, and I will wrap this down, everybody, until they get it. Again, that started my first video, and I actually really never even thought about it, just kind of came to mind. Again, iron oxide poisoning from a passing planet with a iron oxide tail, throwing iron oxide as it goes, and now we're getting space debris also a little more than usual. And so what does the iron oxide do? The iron oxide actually creates a little bit of what a flu would be. Again, go on Google, search it. You're going to find out that yes, I think the cat wants out, so I'll disappear. But yes, iron oxide has the same properties as COVID-19. Are you coming? Let's go out now. So if you check that and Google it, you will find out that the properties of COVID-19 are the same as iron oxide, and they've been studying iron oxide to try to find out what's going on with COVID-19, okay? So, that's where I stay. Do I believe this is some major mystery bug that came out of China? Do I believe it was a bioweapon? Well, I'll tell you this about bioweapons. A long time ago, I'm going to go shut the door because it's getting cold. A long time ago, when this first started, there was a guy, it was a Chinese doctor, and he was here on YouTube, and it was a YouTube live channel, and who knows, maybe it was fake, but the guy came on, and he talked about this bioweapon and that it had gotten loose. Then in the news, our news even, this supposed Chinese doctor died 2 days after he had talked about it. So, that came out with the bioweapon part, right? Okay. So, but I still believe that's not true. See, my whole belief is that there's this planet, two of them, red and blue, red Kachina, blue Kachina. The red Kachina is the dwarf star passing through and doing all this stuff. We've had some pretty good earthquakes. Some people have been blaming HARP. Now, is it? Maybe. Is it not? Now remember, we see these magnetic signs like they're doing it. Well, yes, but a passing planet would throw magnetic signs at you, and yes. So all I can do for my friends and people out here to do watch is just tell you, my belief is what my belief is, and I'm not going to stray from my belief because somebody else tells me that their belief is something else. So when I see somebody do a comment that I think is really pertinent to what they're talking about, but they don't want this person to actually be able to say it, I don't think that's cool. That's being squelched and told that you can't have your freedom to say what you want. The only rules on my group, or their group, not my group, the group that we're on, is being respectful to other members, and this person was respectful. They didn't swear at them or anything else. They were respectful. They just wanted to know why someone's comment was taken off. And I have to tell you, it took me forever to realize the person who runs this page. Now, I used to follow this person way, way back. I'll never name him because I don't want, I don't want people getting out there and, whatever, but no. And I think he followed me back then, too, because I had a bigger following back then. I just decided I'd had enough of YouTube, and I went away for about 9 years, and I had my little being me moment, and then I came back. Now, this guy has a lot of good things, but he has you guys looking at clouds. And clouds are not Nibiru. They're not moons. They're clouds. Now, albeit I've gone out and looked sometimes and thought I saw the roundness of something out there in the blue sky. Could it be? Maybe. It could be. No one knows for sure. No one knows 100%. But, yes. So I might be able to go sit down at my desk now because my cat went out once my coffee's done brewing. But could it be that? Well, I'm not saying it isn't. All I'm saying is people need the freedom to believe what they want to believe. If they want to comment on your page, and as long as it's not nasty, and say that maybe they don't believe what you believe, then you shouldn't, you should just allow it. Now, the person who runs the page has actually come on here, reported a comment, and wanted it gone. But the problem is, my friend, everybody has the right to believe what they want to believe. And if they want to believe that there's a real planetary system coming through and it isn't clouds, then that's their right. And if they're on your group just because they want to learn a little bit, it doesn't mean anything wrong as long as they're not cussing at each other and being disrespectful, which is one of the rules. But no, they disagreed with what you said, and they basically don't believe the clouds are Nibiru, the Nibiru system. They don't. So that's my first thing. Okay. But the COVID-19 thing is really more underlying into it. I can tell you what I believe. People I know don't believe it. So all I can do is predominantly just let it go, and whatever it is what it is. Okay, my coffee's done. Now we're going to go over and sit down for a couple of minutes, and then I got to get motivated to get a lot of things done here. So with that little introduction ditty, we now have a little bit more to go into, and now this phone that I'm using will no longer be with me after today because my iPhone 12 is coming. Now, there was a joke about the iPhone 12 about it being more like a 5, and it kind of is, but its operating system is a little bigger, and it's as big as this phone, so that's kind of cool too. So with that being said, I'm trying to get all this over here so you can kind of see me. But anyway, so now I'm at my desk. But the thing is that there are some things coming. Do I believe 90% of what some of these other people tell me? Some. But I'm not going to jump on their bandwagon and be like, oh my God, you know what? I'll bet you. Now, if this flips sideways, I'm sorry. I'll put it back the other way just in case. But, so, whatever. But that, okay, so anyway, my whole view of COVID-19 is different than others, okay? The group thing, I love being a moderator there. I don't ever misappropriate my part of it, but I do happen to say that there are certain comments that I've removed that I wouldn't have ever removed if it was my group. You know, you're not going to sell to people that clouds are planetary system. You're not. Anybody that has half a smart professional brain is not going to go look out at clouds and go, "Oh, there's Nibiru. There's the system. It's right there." Nobody with any grain of education is going to believe that. I'm just saying that's straightforward, right? So that's me with that. Now we'll push that out. Here's the next part. The next part is we're talking about spatial things. Now they just landed a little craft on Bennu or an asteroid near it, and they were able to scoop up this dust, and now they're going to bring it back and they're going to study the sample. The reason why they want to know what this thing's made of is so they can do something to move the fucker, because it's going to happen. They know it's going to happen. They're just like the Bible says, no one knows time or date. I can't give you a time or date. I actually thought at one time that it was going to be like May because of Mayans, you know what I mean? The Mayans and May. But the funny thing about it is, if you look at their temples, on their temple, it's like the logo of CERN. And funny, there was an old, oh God, I remember the name of the show, but Leonard Nimoy did it, and it was something about the thing that actually said 2011. So see, we're going through all these years and nothing is happening. Now, with the JPL, the Jet Propulsion Labs diagram, it does show Apophis in about 9 more years being really close. Now, right now, it's very close. If you go on there and look, now in spatial terms, you know, it's far away, but in reality, on the picture, it's like this close to us. Right now it is. Now, somewhere in this week or next, which I haven't seen yet, because our skies are always foggy, there's supposed to be this asteroid that, well, not asteroid, it's a comet. It's another Neowise comet, supposed to linger for a couple of weeks and then go. Now we're going into Nostradamus and the comet, you know. So here's the other one. So now we got all that. Then, in next month, there's going to be this little asteroid that's going to be parked by the moon. But then again, around November 2nd, there's supposed to be this asteroid that could hit, which Neil deGrasse Tyson said. He said it could hit. He said it could. Didn't say it wouldn't. Didn't say if. He said could. The probability is like low, but there it is, right? So with that, there's that coming. Now we got all this wiped out. We got one more little segment, and I might only end up doing a 20-minute video, but we'll see how far I get into this. These presidential debates have been pretty stupid, okay? One guy after the other, one guy after the other. The last one was supposed to be a muted debated, and it ended up being a muted debate. At the end, they were cutting each other off. Dipstick said poor boys, not proud boys. The other guy is so high in himself. And I'm telling you, I don't like either one of these little guys. These nitwits, I don't like either of them. And even what my girlfriend told me, which is true, and I know this myself, most of these presidents don't have as much power as you think they do, is the whole other group. Congress, Senate, House, blah, 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 blah. And whoever controls one of them is the one who makes it at the end, and the decision is how it is. But it isn't that person. That guy doesn't have nothing. He's a figurehead. But I've always believed that presidents were selected and not elected. So, with that said, but I can tell you this. Here's the thing I was going to start this out with. The officer who put the knee in George Floyd, well, he got let out, and then they dropped the charges on him. You don't think these guys are going to go back to the streets and start screaming? Remember what I told you about organized chaos? Organized chaos. Out of order comes chaos. Out of chaos comes order. Backwards. Well, that plan's working pretty good. Sure looks like it. And all these idiots running at the streets and and ooh and and you and this and I and I'm going to tear down a statue of a pigeon because I don't like pigeons. Oh, the pigeon was racist. That's what it is, you know what I mean? And a guy like me who was raised by my family who was, in my mind, very not racist people at all. You know, I've actually dated a woman that was black, but I'm still racist. See? But the problem is that people don't believe anything but what the TV and mainstream media tells them. And until then, that's how it is. Now, anyway, you can better believe that if the guy, Orange Man Bad, wins, well, then that's going to be more in the streets. And if the other guy wins, who knows what's going to happen. But I'm going to tell you this. Another guy I go back to, Bob Fletcher. Bob Fletcher talked about organized chaos, pandemic, and all this stuff they got to do the steps before this sucker comes. By the time it shows up, it'll be too late. By the time you can really see it, I mean really see it, it'll be too late. There already was on the Weather Channel yesterday was a little article about rising and sinking of California. No kidding. Don't you think that a lot of this has got people moving because the economy is shitty, people can't work, so they're trying to go to states where they can. Think they're not organizing the herd off of where the water is to get out of here? I think it is. I'd move away in a heartbeat if I could. I'd hate to leave my mother behind in a nursing home, and know that would happen. But a lot of people are moving away from here because they know there's a big earthquake coming. They know that these other things are going to come, and they're going to leave because they don't want to be here for it. What's my thing? As I've said in other videos, at least a mile in, and I'm not. At least 1,000 feet up, and I'm not. So if I sit right here where I am, when all this happens, I'm swimming. Okay? Location. Don't move by volcanoes. I know a lot of people are moving up near Yellowstone. I'm going, are you nuts? Michio Kaku said that thing is active and can go off at any time. But people don't listen. And then it's too late. A bug out bag. I have one. Sits in my car all the time, so wherever I go, I have it. I'm not worried about, ooh. I have it. Wherever I am, my car is. I can just go there and get it. It's already packed. Food, water, supplies, 2 weeks worth. Clothes, essentials, everything you might need. I don't know if you could do this now, but Walmart was selling these red backpacks, survival backpacks. I have one of those too in my car. Packets of water, first aid kit. I'm done. I'm ready. I'm set. I got food. I got other food somewhere else. I'm set. Mormon religion is not for me, but I'll tell you this. Mormons were pretty smart when it came to a lot of things. And the reason why I think they wanted to have a lot of kids was so in the event of something like this, they'd be ready. And think about now, not all Mormons live in Utah, but think about it, a lot of them do. Think about it. It's high up. It's far in. And you got members. All these believers are all in this one spot. Now, do I believe Brigham Young and the whole thing about having a lot of kids and this and that or whatever and having a lot of wives? Not so much. But I'm going to go into a little thing here. There's a place, I'm not going to tell you where it is, but it's been used as a testing site. I don't know too much about it, except I know a little bit about it. Can it be easily converted into a camp? Yes, it can. Does it have everything up there that they need? Yes, it does. Who are the groups of people that want to go there? Mormons, Freemasons, Scottish Rite, and there's another group, and I can't remember who they are. there's these little dirt roads that are all locked down and closed. But in the event of an emergency, those little dirt roads are all opened up and they go right there. And they all know where to go. The places where they live are all by these little dirt roads that go up to the place. Even if they got to hike, they can still get there. It might take them a couple days because it's far away. But they're prepared. They're ready. Yes. Most people aren't. Most people sit around and watch TV all day. I'm out of shape because I am. I don't eat right. I have type 2 diabetes. I really shouldn't eat certain foods. And I've been trying to stay off them. Haven't had ice cream for quite a while. And, you know, I've been trying to do good. I've just got to lose some weight. I have 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to drop off and go do what I got to do because I got to get out of here by about 9:15 and go do my Saturday, my only real day off, to spend time with the people that I love. And then I'm back to going to work again because time I come home the next day, watch football with a friend, prepare, and go to work again. It's the same old drudge one more day. So anyway, they have that. What's it for? Well, it's about a mile in, but it's only about 500 feet up. That's the only bad part. That's kind of like a secondary place that they can't get anywhere. But at least they can get off the coast, get up, and be up. It's the highest point in the area. Gee, highest point. Gee, why did they pick there? Oh, yeah. Big earthquakes in Alaska. I got a pet peeve going on right now. There's a person... The place where I live is very, very, it's almost like, I'm not saying living like in New York City, but what it is the parking here sucks, okay? Now, I don't get anybody that comes and visits me, really. But my thing is that these people always got to park their car in the middle and not allow another spot for another car. That's why I like to help these guys with nothing. Because everybody in the world today, not everyone, but a lot of people are very inconsiderate. And that's the truth. So, with that all said, I've had a little ramble, but I wanted to tell you about my views on COVID again, which I said, iron oxide will always be my belief. The numbers where I live are going down. We got a lot of maskless people here, yet it mysteriously started to drop. They're going back into in-dining. They're actually having a bar that's going to open. Now, of course, they're not going to let you all close and everything else like that because they don't know where everybody's been. Because if you've been in the wrong areas where this thing has gone through and you have a little bit and you have a chew, well then sure. And I'm going to tell you this again, as I said in a earlier video. I may have had whatever it was, but it was more than the flu to me. It lasted for 10 days and I was freaking sick. If it had gone on 2 more days, I might not be here talking to you. But what did that do to me? And I was home every day, I never went anywhere. Made me immune. So now, until maybe a while down, I can't even get it even if it is real. But the reinfecting could be if the debris comes back in here again. Anyway, so the last part of this video is the debris. Why is it coming in? Because the tail is grasping this debris, and as it leaves, it's letting it go. I had a guy tell me years ago, oh, it doesn't work that way, la, la, la. Well, it does work that way, my friend. And that's what's happening. And it's depositing all this shit out here. And then after it's lost its little bit of whatever, and it can loosen its grip from the gravity, it either comes in or goes away. Physics. I'd go into that later on. But those are my 3 main points. You got Tweedledee and Tweedledum running against each other. I don't like either of them. I don't. But I do believe that if old Sleepy Joe doesn't win, then there's going to be this mass hysteria in the street. Oh, Russia colluded with Trump, and oh my God, he won, and oh, here we go, and it's all over again. But you see, one more thing I'm going to go into is I got about 6 more minutes to do this last little part. On MTV, they have these 2 videos. One of them is, these guys are riding a subway in New York, and all of a sudden it flashes to like World War II. And there's these people, and they're like on these actual real trains going to you-know-where. Then, there's another one where I think it's got something to do with Hillary, and they're sitting there watching this screen like 1984, like Big Brother. And then they say, you know, think this can't happen? And it goes away. I filmed one, and I can tell you because I don't live there now, but when I lived in Oregon, I filmed a big, vast amount of these so-called trains that haul cars. When they had Occupy Wall Street. The only time these trains were there was when Occupy Wall Street was on. Do you think it could come to a time where they might have these trains and maybe people who don't want a vaccine with a chip won't go, and so they say, okay, you're going to go, and they force you on there by force and take you to these re-education camps, which are all over the place. There's no one in them. They're fenced in, and the way they're made are like jails, like to keep you in, not people from coming in. They're all over the place. Remember the FEMA coffin theory? You should go look sometime. The FEMA coffin theory. Oh, that's fake. It is. They got them. Coffin liners. What is it for? I think you guys might be getting to grasp the grasp pretty soon. I think you might have it. All these military vehicles 9 years ago, coming through, tons and tons. I saw a brand new howitzer on the back of a deuce and a half on the highway. Sure, they got to get it somewhere, but they're still out there in the open showing it. And you think this is all nothing. Well, as I said, I can only come on here, give you my idea, what I believe, and if you don't believe it, that's fine. You have your right to believe it. You can come on here like that one guy, and oh God, that guy again, and oh my God, and now, and that's fine, but my belief is mine, and I'm going to stay there. I had a friend of mine who was a big believer in this come tell me, oh, there's no such thing as that. Nibiru's fake. You know why he said it to me? Was to get my mind off it so I wouldn't think about it. And I did. I disappeared it for 9 years. Then, now here's the interesting thing. Now I know this kind of doesn't mean anything to anybody, but the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, that cartoon, well, they're not going to have it this year. I always coincided that cartoon with the Dwarf Star. And a little boy believing in a dwarf star that no one else believed in, and he was sitting there waiting for it, and like me, it never came. Well, now, people may still have parties, and they may still whatever, but they're really not going to have Halloween. They're not going to have it. That's how it is. Charles Schultz was a Mason. Also, The Simpsons. They sure do predict a lot. Groening, Mason. Some of it's time travel. Some of this is a planet like The Sims. Your body's real, but the thing in here can go when it perishes, it goes somewhere else. It maybe goes back into another body to relive it again. But anyway, this video is almost a half an hour, and I'm going to stop it right here. But I want you guys to understand my views on COVID, the election, space junk, asteroids, and preparedness. Hopefully by now, you understand what I'm trying to say. Because I go on and on about the same thing every single time. But no one seems to really get it. All they get is that, oh, bullshit. And I'm going to tell you this, bullshit or no, the mainstream media is never going to tell you the truth. They never are, because do you realize what people would do if they realized that this was really real? They'd freak out. Anyway, my friends, peace. I'll be seeing you. You guys have a really good Saturday and weekend. I might not do another video now for a couple days, but I had a freedom to do this one, so here we are. Peace. Looking a little tired there, but I'll see you.